Hello, welcome to the Papyrus TV News Update. First, the headlines. Security of Nigeria in capable hands. Ex-CDS Musa. Don't push Nigerians to the wall. ADC warned Tinubu over fuel tax. Court sacks Zamfara reps for defecting from PDP to APC. Katsina government to meet birth registration mandatory. Wike vows to continue PDP fight. Health Court judgment. Federal government begins disbursement of tertiary institutions staff support funds. Now the news in detail. The Katsina state government has announced plan to make birth registration compulsory for all residents as part of efforts to improve child data management, education planning and healthcare delivery. Governor Diko Umar Rada disclosed this during a meeting with officials from the National Population Commission (NPC) and the UNICEF in Katsina. He said accurate birth records are essential for implementing social programs and preventing underage marriage. Rada stated that the new policy would be enforced through a joint framework between local government, traditional rulers, and healthcare facilities. No child born in Katsina should be invisible in our records again, the governor said. He added that the government would embark on a massive public sensitization campaign to educate parents, especially in rural areas, on the importance of registering their children immediately after birth. UNICEF representative in Nigeria, Christine Munduet, commended the initiative, saying it aligns with the UN's Global Child Protection Goal and helps ensure that every Nigerian child's identity is legally recognized. Finally, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has praised the Federal High Court judgment that restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from recognizing the outcome of the planned 2025 PDP National Convention, describing it as a victory for internal democracy. Speaking in Abuja shortly after the judgment, Wike said the ruling vindicated his long-held position that the PDP leadership had flouted due processes and ignored the party's constitution. He accused the National Working Committee, NWC, of sidelining key stakeholders and pursuing what he called a predominantly political agenda. Wike vowed to continue fighting for the fairness within the PDP, insisting that his instance was not driven by personal interest, but by the need to protect the party's funding principles. The judgment is a reminder that no individual is above the law or the party's constitution. I will not stop speaking until we restore justice, balance, and transparency in PDP, he declares. Political observers said the judgment further deepens the division between Wike's faction and the PDP leadership ahead of the 2025 election. Former Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa retired and assured Nigerians that the country's security remains in capable hands under the current leadership of the armed forces. Speaking at a national security forum in Abuja, General Musa commended the ongoing restructuring within the military, saying it reflects a renowned focus on intelligence, professionalism, and interagency coordination. He noted that the recent deployment of senior officers and reinforcement of key commands with strategic decision aimed at sustaining operational gains against terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. Nigeria's military has learned critical lessons from years of asymmetric warfare. What we are seeing today is a recalibrated force with modern tactics and stronger civilian-military collaboration, Musa said. The retired defense chief also praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration for maintaining budgetary support for the armed forces and prioritizing personnel welfare. While acknowledging persisting challenges, Musa called on Nigerians to support the security agencies with timely information, stressing that national security is not the responsibility of government alone, but of every citizen. The African Democratic Congress (ADC) has condemned the federal government's new fuel tax policy, warning that continuous economic pressure on citizens could trigger widespread unrest. In a statement by its national chairman, Chief Raf Nwosu, the ADC described the proposed fuel tax as an insensitive move that shows disconnect between leadership and the people. According to Nwosu, millions of Nigerians are already struggling under high living costs, triggered by subsidy removal, unstable power supply, and job losses. Introducing additional tax on fuel, he said, would only deepen poverty and heighten social tension. He added that the administration should instead focus on blocking revenue leakages, cutting waste in governance, and bolstering local production. When government cannot provide jobs or security, the least it should do is not to worsen the lives of citizens, Nwosu stressed. The ADC urged the National Assembly to reject the policy proposal and call for a comprehensive review of governance fiscal strategy, including a living wage adjustment for workers. A federal high court sitting in Gusau, Zamfara State, has removed Honorable Aminu Sani Jaji, a member of the House of Representatives representing Kaura, Namoda, Birni Magaji Federal Constituency, for defecting from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Delivering the judgment, Justice Binta Nyako held that the lawmaker's defection violated Section 68(1)(g) of the 1999 Constitution, which prohibits elected officials from switching political parties, except where there is a division within the original party. The judge ruled that there were no division in the PDP to justify Jaji's move and ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to issue a new certificate of return to the PDP candidate with the next highest vote in that last election. The verdict has sparked strong political reactions across Zamfara. The PDP hails it as a triumph for democracy and judicial integrity, while the APC accused the opposition of using the court to weaken political opponents through legal technicalities. The federal government has commenced the disbursement of the Tertiary Institutions Staff Support Funds, TISSF, to academics and non-academic staff across public universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education nationwide. The scheme, introduced by the Minister of Education in collaboration with the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, aims to cushion the impact of recent economic reform on education workers. Education Minister Professor Tahir Maman said the funds was designed to support sustainability and reduce financial hardship amongst teaching and administrative personnel. He disclosed that the disbursement cover allowances, wage adjustments, and welfare grants to be paid directly into beneficiaries' verified accounts. The first phase targeted staff in federal institutions, while subsequent phases will include state-owned tertiary institutions. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, have welcomed the initiative, describing it as a modest but commendable step towards rebuilding trust between the government and education workers. Officials confirmed that monitoring teams have been deployed to ensure transparency and equitable payment disbursement. This has been the Papyrus TV Africa.